Let me tell you something. Sometimes the most powerful move you can make in life is not making a move at all. It's about stepping back and getting quiet. Because silence, true silence, is not a sign of weakness. It is strength under control, pain that has been transformed into wisdom and discipline wrapped in patience. There comes a time in your life when you stop chasing people. You stop explaining yourself to those who are determined to misunderstand you. You begin to focus on yourself, on your peace, your growth, your calling. You come to understand that not every battle is worth fighting, not every insult deserves your energy, and not every person is meant to go where you're headed. That's when the shift begins. Have you ever found yourself in a room full of noise, voices, clashing opinions, swirling chaos, rising, and felt something inside telling you to just be still? That's not weakness. That's your soul speaking. Let them talk. Let them speculate. Let them assume, because silence, real intentional silence, is a form of strength that most will never comprehend. In a world that constantly pushes you to react, to post, to clap back, to defend your side of the story, silence becomes a rare and dangerous kind of discipline. People will call you distant, they'll label you cold, they'll say you've changed. And the truth is, they're right. You have changed. You've grown. You've realized that peace is not found in winning arguments. Peace is found in knowing exactly who you are without having to announce it. That's maturity. That's real power. And more than anything, that's freedom. There is something uniquely powerful about the person who chooses not to respond. The one who no longer feels the need to justify every step, defend every move, or explain every decision. You begin to understand that not everyone is worthy of your energy. Some people are simply noise in the story of your life, and you don't have to entertain it. Holding your tongue while someone tries to provoke you, that's power. Choosing not to participate in drama, that's growth. Silence isn't avoidance. It's intention. It's the deliberate choice to value peace over pride, to prioritize purpose over ego, and don't ever let anyone confuse that for weakness. A person who can stay silent while being judged, tested, or doubted is a person who has mastered the art of self-control. And self-control is the foundation of every strong soul. Silence brings clarity. When you stop speaking so much, you begin to hear more, especially from God. The world is loud, people are loud, but truth, real truth, is quiet. It doesn't shout, it waits patiently for silence to reveal it. That's why those who constantly need noise truly find peace, because peace lives in the quiet. Spaces in the stillness of the moment. When you stop chasing and start listening, when you embrace silence, you begin to see what really matters. You notice who genuinely cares, you recognize what actually deserves your time, and most importantly, you discover who you are when no one is watching. That version of you, the one that doesn't crave applause, doesn't wait for permission, that's the real you. And when you find that version, you begin to build from a place of confidence, not insecurity. You no longer need to shout to be heard. You don't have to scream to be seen. Let your silence speak for you. Let your calm be your response. Because those who are truly strong never feel the need to prove it. They show it in how they walk, in how they breathe, in how they move through storms without complaining about the rain. Weak people talk about what they're going to do. Strong people just do it quietly, consistently, powerfully. And when it's done, the world notices, not because you told them, but because you showed them. That's real strength. That's the kind of legacy silence builds, not a performance, but a foundation. There's a reason they say still waters run deep. The deeper the soul, the less noise it makes. You won't find a storm raging in a shallow puddle, but when the ocean is calm, that's when it's most powerful. That's the kind of silence you want to cultivate, the kind that's grounded, unshaken, unmoved. People will try to provoke you just to see you react. They'll test your patience just to see if you'll break your character. But when you stay silent, when you hold on to peace with a steady heart, that's when you earn the highest form of respect, not just from others, but from yourself. You begin to understand that not everything deserves a reaction. Not everything deserves your presence. Silence unsettles people because it forces them to confront their own noise. When you stop engaging in arguments, when you no longer react to every insult, when you stay quiet in spaces where you once fought for validation, it sends a powerful message. A message that says, I've outgrown this. And growth, real growth, is silent. You'll never hear a tree grow, but one day its roots are so deep and its branches so strong that no storm can shake it. That's what silence does. It deepens your roots. It strengthens your foundation. It prepares you for storms you don't even see coming. And when those storms arrive, you won't need to raise your voice. You'll just stand there unmoved. And don't think for a moment that people don't notice. They see your silence. They feel it. They talk about it. Some are confused by it. Others feel threatened by it. But the right ones, The ones with depth and wisdom, they respect it. Because silence makes people turn inward, it holds a mirror up to their noise and their chaos. And when they realize they can't drag you into their mess, when your peace stays unshaken, they begin to understand that you are different. You are building something real. You are building stability, discipline, and purpose. And those things cannot be bought or faked. They can only be earned in quiet moments. We have been taught to believe that strength must be loud, that power needs to be shouted to be real. But silence is the language of the strong. It belongs to those who have been broken and still manage to stand, not because they have nothing to say, but because they understand that saying it is not always worth it. They have learned the value of letting go, of walking away without bitterness, of choosing peace over pride. And in that choice, they have found something rare and unshakable. They have found freedom, the kind that cannot be stolen by gossip or disrespect or misunderstanding. Silence teaches you patience, and patience is a weapon in a world that races and pushes and pulls. You become the one who waits, the one who watches, the one who listens, the one who moves when it is time, not when emotions demand it. And when you move like that, you become powerful in the quietest, most intentional way. You are no longer reacting, you are responding. You are not emotional, you are deliberate. And when you speak, every word carries weight. People begin to lean in, not because you are loud, but because they know your words are backed by presence and purpose. That is what silence gives you. It makes your presence undeniable even when you say nothing at all. And that kind of presence is true influence. So do not let the world convince you that silence means surrender. It does not. It means you are rising. It means you are learning how to build in private, how to protect what matters without shouting, how to lead without needing a spotlight. It means you have stopped trying to explain yourself to people who never valued the explanation in the first place. It means you have discovered something sacred. You have found the strongest version of yourself. The version that does not need to be seen to make an impact. The one that does not need to shout to change a room. Because your silence, it speaks with more force than noise ever could. There comes a moment in life when you stop choosing noise and start choosing peace. Not because you have stopped caring, but because you care more than ever. You care about your mind, your heart, and your spirit, and you realize that you cannot afford to allow anything to disturb your peace anymore, because peace is not just a feeling, it is survival, it is healing, it is the force that holds you together when everything else tries to tear you apart. And once you experience real peace, you never go back to begging for chaos to understand you. Peace does not mean your life is perfect. It means you no longer waste energy on what drains you. It means you walk away from what dishonors your soul. Even if it feels familiar, it means you release the people who only show up to take, to drain, and to disappoint. When peace becomes your priority, subtraction becomes sacred. You stop over-explaining. You stop chasing closure. You stop answering calls that only bring confusion, because your peace is sacred now. And when you start treating it like something holy, life begins to shift, not only around you, but within you. You wake up with clarity, you move with intention, you stop seeking validation from people who never saw your worth, even when you stood right in front of them. You stop trying to prove yourself in rooms you have already outgrown, and when your peace is your standard, you become unshakable. You start measuring success by your stillness, not by the noise that surrounds you, and that is when you truly step into your power. Not the power that crushes others, but the kind that grounds you and holds you steady in every storm. People will not always understand this version of you. They will say you have changed, they will say you have become distant, but what they do not know is what it costs you to find this peace. They were not there for the tears, the breaking points, the nights you were barely holding on. They did not witness the healing you fought for in silence. So no, you are not cold, you are careful, you are guarded with your soul, because you have learned that not everyone deserves access to it. Some only loved you when you were broken because it made you easier to control, but not anymore, not now. Now peace sits at the center of your life, and peace requires boundaries. You will lose people when you start protecting your peace, but let them go. Because if your peace offends them, they were never meant to stay, because real love does not come with chaos. Real friends do not leave you feeling drained. If someone becomes upset because you chose your well-being over their comfort, that is not your burden to carry. That is a sign they never truly respected you. Your peace is not a negotiation. It is not a team decision. It is not a shared project. It is yours. And if someone is disrupting it, they have already shown you everything you need to know. Protecting your peace means saying no. It means being misunderstood. It means walking away even when your heart aches and doing it anyway. There is no greater act of self-love than guarding your peace like your life depends on it, because it does. The stress, the anxiety, the emotional exhaustion, you've normalized. That is not life. That is the absence of peace. And you have every right to step away from anything that robs you of joy, of balance, of hope. You are not created to live in a state of defense, and and survival, you deserve mornings that begin with ease, not dread days, that move with focused, not drama nights, that end with gratitude, not spiraling thoughts. That is, the life peace builds, and it begins the moment you decide it matters more than anything else. You do not have to wait for a breakdown to begin protecting your peace. You do not have to wait until your body is too tired to move, until your heart is numb, until your mind is drowning in noise. Start now. Start before the burnout start, before the anxiety becomes your default state. Because your peace is not something you randomly find. It is something you create. You create it through boundaries, through choices, through silence, through walking away from what does not serve you. It is not easy, but it is worth it. And once you start choosing peace, you will wonder why you ever lived any other way. The people you thought you needed, the ones you fought to keep, will no longer matter when your soul finally exhales. Because you were never meant to carry what is not yours. You were never meant to fix everyone's problems at the cost of your own spirit. You were never supposed to be the emotional dumping ground for people who never even asked how you are. Let that truth sink in. It is not selfish to protect your energy. It is necessary, because when you are drained, you have nothing left to give. When your spirit is unsettled, you cannot even hear your own purpose. When you are consumed by other people's chaos, you forget the sound of your own peace. Reclaim it, reconnect with it, make peace your foundation again. Start showing up for yourself the way you've always shown up for others. Give yourself the grace, the patience, the stillness that you hand out so freely to everyone else. You do not have to be available for everything. You do not have to explain your distance. Sometimes protecting your peace means stepping back, going silent, recharging and returning whole. Because the world does not need more people who are constantly overwhelmed. It needs people who are whole, who are grounded, who are healed, and that starts with you. You cannot control everything around you, but you can control what you allow into your life. Peace is not a coincidence. It is a daily decision, so every time you feel tempted to return to what broke, you remind yourself that your peace is your priority. Every time someone tries to pull you into chaos, remember what matters most. And every time you feel guilty for choosing solitude, for setting boundaries, for creating space, take a breath and repeat the truth. My peace is my priority. Because without peace, success feels hollow, love becomes heavy, life feels like survival, but with peace, everything blooms. The heart begins to heal, purpose begins to rise. That is the life you are meant for. That is the new standard, not chaos, not drama, just peace, deep, unshakable, sacred peace. And then one day you realize something powerful. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone has earned the right to hold your heart, to know your dreams, to witness your fears. You spend too much time giving the most sacred parts of yourself to people who only gave you fragments in return. You let too many stand close, who never should have been allowed near. But now you understand your presence is a gift. Your energy is sacred. Your time is valuable. And from this moment forward, you will no longer apologize for protecting them. People will claim they know you, but all they know is the version you allowed them to see. They were visitors in your story, not the authors of it. You do not owe anyone unlimited access to your emotions, your energy, your healing, or your kindness. Some people only show up to drain you, to distract you, to feed off your light because they never learned how to build their own. But you are not a rehabilitation center for people who refuse to grow. You are not a sanctuary for those who keep burning down your peace, and you are done shrinking just to fit into spaces that never saw your worth. You do not need to keep explaining yourself to those who are committed to misunderstanding you. You do not need to keep opening doors for people who only know how to walk in and create mess. Some will confuse your kindness for weakness. Some will think your silence means agreement. But what they fail to understand is that you are not silent because you have nothing to say. You are silent because they no longer deserve to hear your voice. Not everyone gets a seat at your table. Not everyone belongs next to royalty. You are not being cold. You are not being cruel. You are being selective, and there is nothing wrong with that. You've learned through pain and disappointment that access to you is a privilege, not a right. The people who genuinely care won't need to constantly prove their place in your life, but they also won't make you question it either. And those who keep wounding you with it. Have you ever felt like you're constantly giving, but getting nothing back? Like you're bending over backwards for people who wouldn't even lift a finger for you? I've been there. We've all been there. It's a lonely, draining place to be. Today, I want to talk about something that can completely change that dynamic. Self-respect. It's not about being arrogant or selfish. It's about understanding your own worth, and then teaching others how to recognize it too. It all starts with a simple, yet profound realization. You are not a supporting character in someone else's story. You are the main character of your own. Your needs, your feelings, your dreams, they matter. They're not secondary. They're the plot. For so long, I thought being a good person meant being endlessly available, always saying yes, and putting everyone else's comfort before my own. But what did that get me? It got me taken for granted. It got me feeling resentful and exhausted. My own cup was empty because I was too busy trying to fill everyone else's. The turning point comes when you decide that your peace is non-negotiable. This is where boundaries come in. Think of boundaries as the rules of engagement for how people get to treat you. They're not walls to keep people out. They're gates that you control. You decide who comes in, how long they stay, and what they're allowed to do in your space. Setting a boundary can be as simple as saying, "I'm sorry, I can't help with that right now. I need to focus on my own tasks." It might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're a people pleaser. You might worry about upsetting someone or being seen as difficult, but here's the truth. The people who get upset by you having boundaries are the very people who are benefiting from you having none. Let that sink in. Healthy, respectful people will understand and appreciate your limits. They'll recognize that you're taking care of yourself, and they'll respect you more for it. The ones who push back, who try to guilt trip you, are showing you exactly who they are. They're showing you that their access to you is more important than your well-being, and that's a massive red flag. Saying no is a complete sentence. You don't owe anyone a long, elaborate explanation for why you're protecting your time, your energy, or your mental health. A simple, firm no is enough. Practice it. Stand in front of the mirror and say it. No. Feel the power in that word. It's the sound of you reclaiming your life. Every time you say no to something that drains you, you're saying yes to something that nourishes you. You're saying yes to rest, yes to your hobbies, yes to your own goals, yes to peace. Now, what happens when you start setting these boundaries? Sometimes the phone stops ringing, the invitations stop coming. The people who were only there for what you could give them will quietly fade away. And this can be a lonely, scary time. It can feel like you've done something wrong, like you've pushed everyone away. You might find yourself in a period of isolation, but I want you to reframe this. This isn't abandonment. This is an audit. You are cleaning house. The universe is removing the people who were never truly there for you in the first place, to make room for those who will be. This period of solitude is not a punishment. It's a gift. It's an opportunity to get to know the most important person in your life, yourself. When the noise of other people's expectations dies down, you can finally hear your own voice. What do you actually want? What makes you happy? Truly happy. Not just what makes others happy. Who are you when no one is watching? This is your time to explore, to create, to heal. Go for long walks alone. Read books you've always meant to read. Pick up a new hobby. Write down your thoughts. Learn to enjoy your own company. Being alone and being lonely are two very different things. Loneliness is a feeling of lack, of something missing. Solitude is a feeling of fullness, of being complete on your own. Your goal is to become so comfortable in your own skin, so in love with your own life, that another person's presence is a bonus, not a requirement. You need to become your own best friend, your own biggest cheerleader, your own safest harbor. Because at the end of the day, people can and will leave. Jobs can end. Circumstances can change. The only person who is guaranteed to be with you for your entire life is you. So why not build the best possible relationship with yourself? This is where true strength is forged. Not in the crowd, but in the quiet moments when you're all you've got. It's in those moments you realize you are enough. You are capable. You are resilient. You learn to rely on your own judgment, to trust your own intuition. You stop seeking validation from the outside because you've learned how to generate it from within. You become a fortress, not an impenetrable one, but one with a strong foundation and clear rules for entry. When you emerge from this period of self-discovery, you'll be different. You'll carry yourself with a quiet confidence that's magnetic. You'll attract people who are on the same frequency, people who respect themselves and will therefore respect you. Your relationships will be deeper, more authentic, because they'll be built on mutual respect, not on neediness or obligation. You won't be afraid to be alone, so you won't settle for a relationship that costs you your peace. You'll know your worth, and you won't be willing to accept a discount. Think about the most respected people you know. They have boundaries. They don't let people walk all over them. They value their time. They are kind, but they are not doormats. That's what we're aiming for. It's a balance. It's about having a strong back and a soft front. A strong back to hold yourself up and maintain your boundaries, and a soft front to stay open to love, connection, and the world. So, if you're feeling drained, disrespected, or taken for granted, I challenge you to start today. Identify one area where you can set a boundary. Maybe it's not answering work emails after 6 p.m. Maybe it's saying no to a social event you don't want to go to. Maybe it's telling a friend that you can't be their on-call therapist 24/7. Start small. It'll feel awkward, but do it anyway. Each time you honor yourself, you're casting a vote for the kind of life you want to live. You're teaching yourself and the world that you are worthy of respect. Remember, your relationship with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship you have. Treat yourself with the love, kindness, and respect you deserve. Defend your peace as fiercely as you would defend your most prized possession, because that's exactly what it is. The journey to self-respect can be a lonely one at times, but the destinational life of authenticity, peace, and genuine connection is worth every single step. You've got this. Thank you so much for watching and for spending this time with me. If this message resonated with you, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more content like this. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. With your time, you become selective with your energy. That grounded, focused, powerful version of you is the one who changes everything. That is the one who walks in purpose and refuses to settle. So the next time life gets quiet, do not panic. Lean into it. Embrace it. Trust that something holy is happening beneath the surface. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. You are not being forgotten. You are being formed. Let the crowd go. Let the distractions fade. Let the silence shape you. Because in the stillness, your true power is being born. When you come out of that season, you won't just survive. You'll realize that isolation wasn't your breakdown. It was your breakthrough. You won't need to explain your silence. Real transformation doesn't need an announcement. The people who are meant to understand will feel it the moment you enter the room. They'll sense your strength. They'll recognize that you went through something sacred. So let them wonder. Let them whisper. Let them miss the old version of you. Because the one that's emerging now doesn't chase, doesn't beg, doesn't break. This one builds. This one stands firm. This one walks with clarity and intention. Now you are building with real focus. The kind that remembers who you are in every moment. The kind that chooses over and over not to be pulled in every direction. When your mind is scattered, your spirit becomes weary. But when your focus is rooted in truth, you move with purpose. You speak with conviction. You walk with a power that cannot be shaken. Focus isn't about closing your eyes to the world. It's about seeing clearly what matters most. It's about sacred vision, seeing beyond the noise, beyond temporary thrills, beyond what others expect of you. When you lock in on your purpose, when you stay aligned with what you were created for, that is when everything begins to shift. Alignment doesn't happen by accident. It happens when your values, your choices, and your direction begin to move together in harmony. And that only comes with focus. The world is loud. Temptation is loud. Charles is loud. But truth doesn't scream. Purpose doesn't shout. They whisper. They whisper. If you're not focused, you'll miss them. You'll miss the signs, the opportunities, the divine timing that only reveals itself to the still and the present. Focus is how you hear God in a world full of noise. It's how you remember your purpose when everything around you tries to distract you from it. But the truth is, focus comes with a cost. It costs comfort. It costs convenience. It costs relationships that no longer support who you're becoming. You can't be everything for everyone and still stay aligned with your assignment. Focus requires boundaries, stillness, and discipline. Alignment is also about what you're willing to release. The wrong people, the harmful patterns, the misplaced priorities. In that letting go, real strength is born. As your focus sharpens, life begins to clear. What was blocked starts opening up, because your spirit finally rose to meet the level of your calling. You don't have to chase what's meant for you. When you're aligned with it, it will flow toward you. It will meet you where your energy is focused. Your energy is sacred. What you focus on grows. If you focus on chaos, chaos grows. If you focus on peace, peace deepens. If you focus on purpose, your path becomes clearer. People may say you've changed, and maybe they're right. Because once you understand what's at stake, you stop playing small. You stop showing up in spaces that drain you. You stop over-explaining to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Focus refines you. You begin to understand that not every call needs to be answered. Not every argument needs your voice. Not every door deserves your presence. You move from reacting to responding, from being pulled in every direction to being rooted in the right one. That's when alignment starts to feel like home, when your inner peace matches your outer actions, when your daily choices reflect your highest values. Life stops feeling forced and starts feeling fluid. You're no longer pretending. You're no longer scattered. You're focused, and that focus builds momentum. That alignment creates grace. That commitment attracts the right people, the right opportunities, the right doors, all because you stopped looking outward and started looking inward. When you're truly focused, you stop craving validation. You know that the work you're doing in private will show in public when the time is right. Focus teaches patience and trust. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not coming. You keep building. You keep believing. Alignment isn't about applause. It's about assignment, and focus keeps you faithful to that assignment. Let others chase what's trending. You stay grounded in truth. Let others move for attention. You move for purpose. That's what separates the distracted from the disciplined, the noisy from the necessary, the confused from the called. Focus is how you protect your peace. It's how you stop giving your time and energy to things that don't serve your destiny. Once you know that, you become steady, you become clear, you become powerful. The more focused you are, the more sensitive you become to misalignment. You feel it faster. That conversation doesn't sit right. That opportunity feels off. That environment drains your spirit. You trust your inner signal. You don't second guess that voice saying, "This isn't for you." You honor it. You protect it. That is the power of focus. It reconnects you with your inner compass. It teaches you to stop asking everyone else for direction and start following your own wisdom. So don't fear the quiet. Don't resist the pull to go deeper. That choice, that focus, is what leads you home to yourself. The moment you begin to focus, things start falling into place. Not because the world changes, but because you do. Your mind clears, your heart steadies, your steps become intentional, and alignment naturally follows. Focus becomes your shadow, quiet but constant. Talk is easy, but action is everything. You can say all the right things, but if your life doesn't reflect it, none of it matters. People may forget what you said, but they will never forget what you did. Your character is defined by what you do consistently. Real ones don't need to announce themselves. They just show up, day after day, doing the work, letting their discipline speak louder than any words. If you want respect, let your work speak for itself. Let your consistency prove your focus. Let your changed behavior confirm your growth. When your actions align with your truth, validation becomes unnecessary. People feel the shift. They notice the energy. Your presence starts to speak for you, not with noise, but with authenticity in a world full of distractions. Silence backed by movement is powerful. Everyone's talking online in conversations in rooms where nothing actually changes, but very few are truly moving. Very few are building. Very few are sacrificing for the future they claim to want. If you're serious about becoming who you were meant to be, you have to move differently. Don't argue about your worth. Deliver with excellence. Don't beg for support. Become undeniable. Don't over-explain your journey. Walk it with purpose. The ones making the most noise usually have the least to offer, but those who move in quiet, those who remain focused, they are the ones reshaping their lives. Your actions reflect your mindset. If your steps are scattered, your thoughts are scattered. If your behavior lacks consistency, so do your beliefs. But when you're truly locked in, when your intentions match your execution, people can feel it. You can walk into a room without saying a word, and your presence will still say everything. It will say, "I'm disciplined." It will say, "I've grown through pain." It will say, "I'm not here to impress, I'm here to fulfill my purpose." There is a quiet power in that the kind of power that lasts. Eventually you reach a point where you stop explaining yourself and start evolving, where you stop talking about the grind and start living it, where your life becomes your proof. You realize you don't have to prove anything to anyone. Your growth, your healing, your transformation, they will speak louder than anything you could ever say. Let people assume, let them talk. While they're distracted, you're focused. While they're gossiping, you're building. While they're watching, you're working. And one day they'll look up and realize you created something powerful, but by then you'll be too focused to even notice. Because real success isn't loud, real healing isn't dramatic, true purpose doesn't scream, it moves, it builds. And when your actions speak, people listen differently. They don't just hear you, they feel you. They know you've paid the price. They know you've walked through fire and came out better. They know you've stayed up late, gotten up early, pushed through the silence, and never stopped showing up. That kind of energy is undeniable. You won't need to chase respect. You won't need to force opportunities. They will come, not because of what you said, but because of what you did. That's what alignment rewards, a life that speaks for itself. But here's the truth, action takes discipline, and discipline is rare. Anyone can make a plan, anyone can say they're ready to change, but only the strong follow through. Only the focused stay the course when the excitement wears off. Only the committed keep moving when no one is cheering. Because this is not about performing for attention, this is about becoming who you were created to be, even when no one is watching. That's where integrity is born, that's where real strength is developed. And eventually all that work done in silence begins to bloom for the world to see, but it always starts in the shadows. Every time you show up when you don't feel like it, you are making a statement. Every time you say no to distraction, you are declaring your focus. Every time you stay true to your values, you are leading without words. That is real influence, that is true leadership, not the kind that demands applause, but the kind that earns deep respect. And that is what separates the ones who talk from the ones who live it. Because anyone can speak, very few can become. But if you're one of the few who do, your life becomes a legacy. So stop trying to convince anyone. Stop over-explaining. Stop waiting for others to understand. Just keep showing up, keep building, keep becoming. Let your actions speak for your growth. Let your silence carry the weight of your strength. Let your presence reflect the depth of your power. Because the moment you stop talking and start truly living, the world will feel the shift, and the ones meant to walk with you on your journey, they'll recognize it, not because you told them, but because your life revealed a truth too loud to ignore. You spend so much of your life chasing love, chasing validation, chasing success, chasing people who were never meant to stay. You run yourself into the ground, thinking the more you hustle, the more you prove, the more you give, the closer you'll get to happiness. But what you often fail to realize is that the act of chasing means it's still running from you. Peace doesn't live in pursuit, it lives in presence. Growth doesn't come from begging, it comes from becoming. And when you stop looking outward and finally turn inward, that's when everything begins to shift. You don't need to chase what is already yours. You only need to grow into the version of you that's ready to receive it. We've been conditioned to believe that constant struggle is a requirement to be seen, that unless we're endlessly proving our worth, we'll be forgotten. So we exhaust our spirits trying to feel temporarily needed. But the truth is, when you stop chasing approval, you unlock authenticity. When you stop chasing connection, you attract alignment. Because when you're whole within, the right things begin to move toward you. You don't have to force it. You don't have to beg for it, it just flows to you because it matches your frequency. You were never meant to spend your life convincing anyone to love you, notice you, or believe in you. That's not your mission. Your mission is to become someone so rooted in truth, and faith, and personal growth that everything meant for you arrives without resistance, because chasing comes from lack. It's a message to the world that says, I don't believe I'm enough on my own, so I have to pursue something to complete me. But when you stop chasing and start becoming, you enter a place of power. You step into abundance. You become magnetic to the miracles that were already waiting for you to align. Think about the things you once forced, how they never lasted. The people you begged to stay were often the ones who left you most broken. That's because chasing creates pressure, and pressure without peace eventually collapses. But when you release control, when you surrender the need to force outcomes, you finally make space for alignment. That relationship, that career, that opportunity, it will come not because you chased it, but because you became the kind of person who could truly receive and sustain it. The goal is not just to find success, the goal is to grow into someone who can carry it with grace. Real transformation happens in the process of becoming it. In the quiet choices, the early mornings. You rose when you didn't feel like it, the nights. You leaned into healing instead of distraction. The moments you chose peace over chaos. That's where the power is built. Every small decision, every quiet victory adds up to becoming someone who doesn't chase blessings, but creates a life worthy of holding them because it healed. A soul doesn't run after what belongs. A focused mind doesn't get lost in distraction. A whole heart doesn't beg, it draws in what aligns. It creates what lasts. Becoming is not for show. It's not about proving, it's about preparing. You don't have to make announcements about your transformation. Your energy will speak for you. You don't have to convince people you've changed. Your presence will reveal it. When you stop trying to be chosen and start choosing yourself, everything shifts. Your boundaries grow stronger. Your time becomes sacred. Your focus sharpens. The noise begins to fade, and in its place, clarity rises. That's when everything that once felt out of reach starts moving in your direction. The world may try to convince you that you're behind, that you're not enough, until you reach a certain level, gain the title, earn the applause, but don't let it rush you. Don't fall into the trap of chasing things that don't nourish your soul. You are not behind, you are becoming. You're not lost, you are being refined. And when you choose the path of growth over performance, the timing of your life begins to make sense. The delays stop feeling like punishments and start revealing themselves as preparation. And you'll come to understand that what's truly meant for you will never pass you by. You don't need to chase anyone. You don't need to chase anything. When you're aligned with your purpose, it all finds you. Your purpose will place you exactly where you need to be. So shift your focus away from the race and invest your energy into becoming. Become disciplined. Become grounded. Become faithful. Become whole, and watch how everything begins to respond to the version of you that shows up with intention. People will feel the change, opportunities will notice the shift, and most importantly, you'll feel it within. You'll walk with a quiet confidence, not because you sought approval from the world, but because you finally gave it to yourself. There's a deep freedom that comes when you stop running after everything, when you realize your only responsibility is to rise, to evolve, and to stay rooted in what is true. Everything else, the love, the peace, the purpose, it meets you along the way. Not when you beg for it, not when you chase it, but when you become the kind of person who is ready to hold it. And readiness doesn't come from urgency. It comes from consistency, from showing up when no one's watching, from doing the inner work quietly, from becoming someone whose worth doesn't waver even in the silence. That's the shift from desperation to dignity, from needing to knowing, from chasing to being. So stop running, stop searching, stop convincing. Start becoming, start walking. Like you're ready. Carry the crown, start showing up like the door has already opened. And even if it hasn't, become the kind of person who would walk through it with grace, humility, and unwavering strength. Because the moment you stop chasing and start becoming, that's when everything begins to fall into place. Not because you forced it to, but because you finally created space to receive it. And now, here you are. After the silence, after the healing, after the breaking and rebuilding. What you've been through wasn't a step-by-step manual. It was a transformation, a return to self, a quiet revolution in your mindset. This isn't about performing for the world. It's about protecting your peace. It's about becoming who you were always meant to be. Before the noise got loud, before the world taught you to chase what was never meant to be forced. It's about remembering that silence holds power, that solitude brings clarity, that your energy is sacred, and not everyone deserves access to it. You are not here to convince people to see your value. You are here to live it, to breathe it, to embody it. There comes a time when the loudest thing you can do is say nothing. When your silence becomes your strength, your boundary, your safe space. When you realize peace isn't something you find, it's something you choose. In how you respond, in what you release, in who you allow into your life. It's not about bitterness, it's about ownership. And real power grows in those quiet moments. The ones where you choose discipline over distraction, where you lean into solitude instead of shallow connection, where you stop explaining and start evolving in silence. Not everyone is meant to walk beside you. Not everyone can handle the fullness of your healing, your growth, your mission. And that's okay. The ones who are meant for you will not be threatened by your boundaries. They will be drawn to your strength, because when you stop chasing and stop becoming, everything begins to move in alignment. Not because you demanded it, but because you became the version of you that was finally ready. Ready to release what no longer fits. Ready to grow into what always was. Ready to become who you were created to be. That's when the shift happens. That's when the right doors open. That's when you realize you never had to beg, never had to chase, never had to prove. You just had to believe in your worth, in your becoming, in the process. So keep showing up, even when no one sees it. Keep growing, even when it's uncomfortable. Keep healing, even when it feels impossible. And above all, keep choosing yourself over and over again, because that's when everything changes. Not when you meet the world's standards, but when you finally rise into your own. The peace, the clarity, the alignment hit, all follows the moment you decide to be fully and unapologetically yourself. Quietly, powerfully, intentionally. Thank you for walking this path. Thank you for choosing growth. May you continue to move in grace, to rise in purpose, and to live with truth. Stay strong, stay grounded, and above all, stay true to who you are becoming. Your time is coming. Keep believing, keep fighting. Don't just watch. Go out and prove them wrong. Thank you for being part of the journey. If you liked it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.